Ford Motor Company was the only one of the big three that did not take a government bailout back in 2009. Its stock, which is probably in your IRA or 401k, take a look at that chart, is up 780% since then. And a lot of that success can be attributed to the fact that in 2006, the founding family brought in a man named Alan Mulally from Boeing to run the place. Mullally's an engineer by training, and he took some drastic steps. Ford has now been profitable for 2 years, and today it's unveiling a plan to increase its sales by 50% in less than 4 years, mainly by growing in Asia and by selling more small cars than SUVs. CEO Alan Mulally joins me now. Alan, good to see you.
Good to see you, Alan.
We have been following your plan. It was drastic back then. Ford had to make some big changes earlier than your competitors did, so by the time these bailouts came around, you were a little bit ahead of that curve. You would have had the same problems, except you started earlier.
Well, absolutely, Ali, and it's been fun to do this with you, and your coverage has been great, because those decisions that we took 5 years ago are what we're seeing the results of today.
Right.
One, the focus on the Ford brand. We divested Aston Martin, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mazda, Volvo, and then to commit to a complete family of vehicles, small, medium, and large, cars, utilities, and trucks, and every new vehicle from Ford, best in class in quality, fuel efficiency, safety, really smart design like Sync and My Ford. And now we have the foundation now to serve our customers everywhere around the world.
Okay, so the decision to buy a car is influenced by some key factors that may not have to do with Ford. They may not have to do with the fact that you've got a good car or best in class. They have to do with whether you've got a job,
yes,
whether you can get credit, and what gas prices are right now. Those three things do seem to be headwinds for you right now.
Well, they certainly are in the near term, and we saw a slowdown in the first quarter, especially in the United States, in the GDP expansion, and a slowdown over the last couple of months, especially with the fuel prices moving up and the economy slowing down. But again, we are committed to the long term. We invested during the worst of times because we want to be there for the consumer as the economy starts to expand.
Can they get credit, though? You're seeing a lot of customers. Are you having people who come in thinking they should be able to qualify for credit and can't get it because this was a big problem 2 years ago and even a year ago?
Credit is available, and a neat thing about Ford, when you go into a Ford store, we also have our own Ford credit company, so we can take care of one-stop shopping. Whether you want to lease, whether you want to buy, we can help you with the financing too. So it's available.
Let's talk about where your growth is going to come from. You are looking at increasing your production by 50%. Asia is going to make up a third of those sales. You're increasing the number of models you have in China and in India. But my buddy Greg Morrison, who's a producer in Atlanta, said to me, are you expecting a global demolition derby? Because who is buying all these cars?
Well, it really is a growth industry. And just to give you a couple of numbers, we're at about 74 million vehicles worldwide in sales, and that's going to go to 112 million over the next few years. And so tremendous growth industry, and of course, as you pointed out, Ford is really positioned well. If, for example, to your point, in India we're going to go from 3 models up to 8 models, and in China we're going from 5 models up to 15 models by the mid-decade. So we are going to have 60 to 70% of the entire coverage of the market with Ford.
Asians are generally smaller people than Americans are, so we're probably going to get some design dictated by Asians, smaller people driving smaller cars, and we'll get used to that in America. Is the trade-off that we can get some jobs out of this in America?
Absolutely. And another neat thing about the Ford plan, Ali, is that because we have gone to global platforms, and then we hit, for example, on the Focus size, you can get 10 different top hats, whether you want an SUV, a hatchback, a sedan, a sports version, a small SUV, all on the same platform. And because we do that worldwide, we can make that most affordably. The United States is a great market for small and medium-sized vehicles, just like they are for large ones. But I think over time, the customer requirements for quality, fuel efficiency, and safety and smart design, it's going to be applicable whether you buy a Fiesta or whether you want a Dynamite F-150.
All right, Kieran, whom you met a few minutes ago, they had a Ford Tempo, an Escort, a Mercury Lynx, and a Taurus back in the day.
Yeah.
And says
we love her.
Because, well, she doesn't love Ford as much as a result. And Christine said that, they used to say in the old days, friends don't let friends drive Fords. You still have a bit of this to contend with. You still have some people who drove Fords years ago who say, why would I do that when I can buy a Lexus, when I can buy a Honda, when I can buy a Toyota?
No, I understand, and this is really an important point, because in the United States, in the past, we could not make money on smaller vehicles, and that's why we concentrate on SUVs and trucks. And quite frankly, the smaller vehicles we made were not the best in class. And when we decided 5 years ago that we were going to have a full family of vehicles, and we went to the UAW, we got a transformation agreement where we can actually make cars in the United States now, do it profitably. We fixed our cost structure. We're converting truck plants to car plants. And that commitment to the consumer, best in class, no matter what size, quality, fuel efficiency, safety, this is the time to take another look at Ford because we've got the vehicles that people, I think, are really going to appreciate.
Alan, good to see you, and congratulations on this slow and steady move that you've had at Ford. We look forward to continued success for you and your competitors.
You know, Ali, it's such a neat story also for the United States because we are fighting for the soul of manufacturing. It's so important for us, for our country, and for great jobs and great careers.
Let's hope there are more of them. Alan,
Absolutely.
good to see you.
Good to see you.